CO. Good morning. Hello. And while ago, man, tell you what, you messing out there with the animals, man, I tell you what, it's like a wrestling match. Uh, does a match, wrestling match. By the way, you love wrestling. I got to miss, or should I say, I ended up missing Friday night SmackDown because what do you call that? The receiver box from the satellite company DirecTV, it gets real hot, and none of, I mean, when it does that, you might as well expect to, forget about watching anything. But yeah, so I was hoping to get to see Friday Night SmackDown to watch Roman Reigns, see whether or not he got his butt whooped or not. But oh well. Anyway, yeah, I love wrestling. You know, wanted to give this live stream with Restream another go, and I think I got the kinks out of this. You know, uh, all ironed out, so to speak. So anyway, good morning. I wanted to, just talk about a little bit of everything, just for a few anyway. Uh, how many of y'all like going camping, hiking, and things like that? Well, I know I do, but it's hard to do it like I used to anymore, because age and health and all that, aches and pains and stuff, but I love it. And I wanted to just show you something here. Now, like say you're wanting to go backpacking out in the wilderness, eh, to enjoy nature and get away from it all, and maybe you want to learn to rough it, maybe if you figure, well, maybe one day you might need the skills. Well, I got something here I want to show you. Uh, that's a good knife to have when you're out in the field. And there's a lot of other knives that are better, even. But this is one. Love this thing. And you always want to make sure that, hold on, I'm having trouble here. You want to make sure that you keep your knife sharp. Let's see, on the back here, if I can get this, you have, so fair, if I can get it out. All right, now I have two. This one's broken, but it's still functionable. Okay, these help to get, if you ain't got matches, or anything, like that, well, these are great. You just take your knife and, whoops, if I can get this thing out, and you just have it down at an angle, uh, and you can take the back side of the knife here and scrape down it. Get sparks, and everything, the magnesium from it and all that. And let's see, I got two rods. All right, you see one. If I can get the thing back in there. And then, and here's another. Um, but it's always good to have two like that. Serves as if I can get it back in, a backup. And if I can get it, always is good to have them. Always a good knife. And you want to make sure that you always have them. You can use this as a way to split some of your firewood, with limbs that are about like this or that big around, and if you got a hatchet, with the blunt end on there, you can use it as a hammer to help split it, or whatever. But this is not the place to demonstrate and all that. But uh, later at another time, in days ahead, I will demonstrate and show you how to do that. Now, there's others on YouTube that can demonstrate on their channels. And also go to Survival, Second Star Survival. He's a good one. Matt, he does an awesome job. Uh, anyway, there's that. And also, now, let's say you're having trouble with training your dogs, keeping them from jumping up on others, or hey, maybe you deliver things, to people's homes and they got dogs. Well, all right. They got a product called Gentle Paws. Of course, this is a mock-up of that, but Gentle Paws is real good. Now the batteries is down, but you got where these two lights here that flashes, and also you got like speakers, like little, like a speaker thing. When you press the button down, everything, it emits a sound that they can hear. So between the flashing light and that sound, that kind of start them, stop them, Nice little thing for even trying to train your dogs on. I managed with this with Sassy, Sassy Butt, as I call her, Sassy Dakota, my one dog. She's a Dalmatian and American Bulldog mix. Mostly looks like American Bulldog, but uh, I couldn't, at the command lay down. I could not get her to do it, but I got her to do it with this. Uh, yeah. I mean, now you have to have patience with a dog when you work with them when you're using this, but it does wonders. It's a great little device. But the brand name that you're wanting to look for, though, which is better than this, is Gentle Paws. Like being gentle and paws, gentle paws. That's a good little device to have. And anyway, battery's down on it. I got to replace it. That's something to remember. And back. Well, hold on. I'll get it. Whoa, which way am I going here? I'm blocking it. Right there. In a bag is a tent. It's a two-person tent, a dome tent. But you always want to carry when you're going out in the wilderness areas and stuff. But you always want to have a good tent, but don't have one too big. Unless you're strong enough to do it, then I wouldn't recommend trying to backpack a tent uh, that's heavy, and it's too big. If it's like a 4 or 5 or 6 person, 8 person tent, that's a lot. Unless you got about 4 or 5 people with you who will help distribute out that weight with that tent as you're carrying it along. Wouldn't recommend it, but I recommend that if you go out somewhere, the best thing is, yeah, way out in the middle of nowhere, you should have another person with you. Should be two, you know. Now, but someplace that's more closer and everything, and you're going out by yourself, and you know the area like the back of your hands, then maybe going out by yourself ain't so bad, but you want to have some kind of backup with you for wild animals, because of rabies and stuff, because that happens, so, and watch out for the bears, respect them, and you'll be respected, and you'll probably live longer. See, a lot of people get attacked by bears and stuff because they don't use common sense. But even if you do use common sense, there are those instances where no matter the precautions, sometimes things can happen. But you want to make sure if you got bear spray or if you got one of those air horns, you know what I'm talking about, like an aerosol can, and you press it down and use something that'll make a loud noise or something good to help deter them. But if you're dealing with a mother cub, I mean a mama, mother cub, okay, a mother and her cubs, um, that horn ain't going to help you much if you're around her babies. And you ever watch that movie Revenant? If you haven't, you should. And I'll tell you what, the character that he played, Leonardo DiCaprio, or however you want to say his name, uh, yeah, even though that's just a movie and everything, the thing is, that would be pretty much about the way it would be if you was around a mother bear and her cubs. Yeah, especially if they're grizzly or polar bears, I mean, there was one, I can't remember the guy's name. It was some time years ago where the guy went out. He kind of like, uh, uh, what do you call them, nature photographer. I think he even worked with National Geographic or someplace. Anyway, he did a footage and stuff where he'd been out there with the bears and stuff. See, the guy didn't have no sense. And of all things, he brought his girlfriend or fiance or whatever she was to him. He brought her with him. And the way he was doing with the bears and stuff. See, now that sounds great if you're watching Grizzly Adams, but out there, it's not a movie, it's real life, and you cannot do that with wild animals, especially when you're dealing with bears. And, well, needless to say, the man and the girl did not survive, they were killed by bears. And there was recordings of the attack, audio or something if I remember right. But anyway, um, that's pretty sad, you know. These people who do that, they have no sense. There was footage which all the native peoples love, which is, I'm glad the lady survived this, but it was in Wyoming, if I remember right, there at the Yellowstone. Well, turns out that the uh, one lady in particular, she wanted to get up close to the tatanka of the buffalo. Want to get that close shot, boy, And these are wild animals; they're not tame, right? And with buffalo, there really ain't much of such a thing as tame when you're really dealing with them because they're wild animals. Well, she got the close shot all right, but turn around that buffalo, that bull attacked her, and it's a good thing he didn't gore her, but his horn got hung in her pants and, well, slung her around her, and, well, there she went one way, and the buffalo the other with the pants still on his horn. And no, it's not funny, that that happened to her, but it is funny, people, are being stupid like that. See, that lady is the brunt of the jokes among the native peoples, cause you get people that behave stupidly when it comes to wild animals and stuff. I mean, something's gonna happen. Well, that lady lost her britches. And it was good that she survived, but it was all bad around all the way around. It was just. And when you see the footage, I mean, especially I can't help it. It's funny. Not funny that she got attacked. Funny that she lost her pants because she was so stupid. You don't want to be stupid. There's a lot of them, guys that get out and want to get that close shot because, oh, there's this moose or an elk. Guess what? They get attacked, hurt. Some of them barely come out alive. So, yeah, be careful when you're out there. And see whether you believe in the wild men or the hairy ones, or also known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch. That's up to you. But see, the thing is, if you're out there and you run into Sasquatch, don't go bang. If you hear tree knocking and stuff, don't be a fool and do it back, because you see, that's a territorial thing. You're getting warnings, all right. You're stepping in a whole different territory. But whatever you do, do not think you're going to get that close up shot that Bigfoot is going to pose for you and give you that good close and personal shot. It ain't going to happen. So remember that. And now some big foot, the hairy ones, can be friendly and curious. But there's some that are aggressive, and rightly so. They don't like modern man, and can't blame them. That people end up getting attacked by him, and that does happen from time to time. So that's why you should always be aware of your surroundings, respect nature. If you're in the hairy one or the wild man's territory, be sure you respect it. If you're getting warning signs, that means back yourself away out of there and go another area somewhere else. You're longer that way. So always respect nature, okay? Keep that in mind. And often now on this channel, I mean, I kind of mix it up a little. Sometimes I'll, like to goof off and everything. It helps my spirit, because, I do go through depression. Music is a great tool to help. Sometimes I'll do a little short clips, music video type thing, for grins and giggles, and also for, to help my spirit, and maybe to lift yours a little. But I also like doing flute music, with nature scenery. I love doing that. And with on this channel discussions like on live, about politics, UFOs, no religion, because that gets in a whole another heated thing, and maybe you might can touch briefly on it, but don't stay on that, because that's you know depends on what we're discussing. on that. It's not about trying to convert anybody. If it ever comes up, it's just, about the different belief systems of different peoples around the world, and cultures. But outside of that, don't want to get into heat into whose religion is better, and trying to convert. No, this is not what this channel is about. But discuss things like Sasquatch, Fey folk, or often referred to as the little people, or fairies, creatures of legend, different cryptids and things like that, and, things of the paranormal and what, one's experiences are. Not everyone's going to believe in, that'd be like trying to sit there and say you believe that apples taste better than a pear. And someone, end up could turn that into a heated debate. So, but you don't want to get into a heated debate. It's just a matter of whether it's politics or what, discussing and talking about one's experiences and sharing it. You know, um, we learn from one another. Um, I haven't been doing a whole lot here on being online and stuff. I mean, yeah, a little, but because I go through depression and stuff, because of certain events that had occurred. But I'm working on it. Seeing therapists, and things, So yeah, I mean, and if you got also, things that's weighing on you, you want to get it off your chest, only share what you want to share. Just get the monkey off your back. You don't want to keep things bottled in because that's not good. It's not good for anybody. Um, so always keep that in mind if you want to talk about things. So, I mean, because there's times when you want to talk or you feel like talking, like you need to. You need to. Just you don't have to mention people's names, or anything. You just, talk about the event, what's going on, and such, and get it off your chest. Trust me, there's a lot of people that can get under your skin on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or Snapshot, Facebook, it don't matter, Instagram. They can get under your skin, and yeah, you would like to call names, especially if the other parties are the ones guilty of stirring up crap. I mean, there's times you'd love to mention their names, and I suppose there's a time and a place when you can or should, but as a rule, if you can keep from it, don't do it. Uh, it's not good. But I mean, now I suppose that'd be like with me. If someone pushed my buttons enough, and then that person, let's say, maybe could be a threat to others, it would only be right that I warn others of that person, right? To mention that name. But for me, to go outside of that, no, I'm not going to do that. But if I'm talking to you personally, privately, that would be one thing. But always be careful on who you share information to, because you may accidentally share it to one and get that, and it goes back to the person that's causing you trouble, and they stir up more trouble. So next thing you know, it's like stirring up a hornet's nest. Have you ever been seen hornets get stirred up? Trust me, you don't. But yeah, it's not good all the way around. And I would love to know what things, subjects you would like, uh, in days to come, to cover, you know, here. And if you also have any music you like to share, I can bring you up on the panel. And if you want to, let's say you play the flute, would love to hear it. If you play the guitar, banjo, fiddle, you name it, piano, if you'd like to do that, would love to hear from you. Music is good for the soul. It really is. And laughter is good medicine. Uh, I appreciate good humor, and if you have jokes you want to share, you want to try your hand at a little stand up, and want to make people laugh, hey, you're welcome to do so. I have another channel. It's called the Warhorse Experience. It used to be uh, Warhorse Films, but it changed the name. Wanted a little change in it, but basically that's everything on there. On paranormal, Native American topics, comedy, different things. But here, I mean, but on that one, I do not get into politics or that. But here on this channel, I mean, I get into discussing things, different topics, where also, if you, like I said, if you have a monkey on your back, you got things weighing on your mind and your spirit, maybe you go through depression, uh, feel free to share. Just kind of watch on the names, if it's other people, you know, just make up names for the person, like say if one's name is John, you could just say Joe or John Doe or whatever, or Jane Doe or whatever. But you understand what I'm talking about. But never give their actual names if you can help it. But you know, uh, it's good to talk about your troubles and things, to get the load off of your back. That's been building up. Because if you keep something bottled in too much, you'll pop. Uh, I can understand that feeling. And it doesn't matter how old you are, right? Uh, Problems are problems. We all have problem experiencing, but we have different levels of problems and things that we go through, especially when it comes to depression. Like I'd been diagnosed with post traumatic stress disorder, and I do get flashbacks and stuff. That kind of a thing that comes back from the military. But anyway, but every one of us has problems, I mean, so it's good to help share and get things off your chest, whatever's weighing on your mind. And I'm hoping that have more content in days to come. And you know, would love to have you a part of this channel. If you want, you can subscribe. If you want, you can hit the thumbs up, or thumbs down, whichever one you want to choose. It's up to you. But anyway, I'm not going to be on here long here. Think I've been on here long enough. But I have a lot of videos that I haven't done anything with, and I need to do with them. I need to edit them and stuff, and that takes a long while, and I have to watch how long they are, because for one, when you're uploading, if it's like over 30 minutes, it takes forever. It seems like it takes forever just for 30 minutes, depending on the size of the file that you're uploading. But, if you don't have high speed internet, which I do not, it can take forever to upload. Uh, so, yeah. So what I try to do, if it's video footage that is really longer than 30 minutes or longer than 20 minutes, I have to break it down into parts, like part one, part two, part three, etc. So once I can ever get all them footages, video recordings, edited and stuff, I will post them and share them with y'all. But right now, I mean, it's a lot to go through, and with everything going on here, with the animals and stuff, it's like I don't seem to find enough time that I would really like to. So anyway, I will, and hope. Oh yeah, and hopefully in days to come, especially if it gets a little warmer on a nice day, I can take you out in the woods and demonstrate a few basic techniques and stuff to remember on, like a simple shelter. If you don't have a tent and stuff, that would come in handy in an emergency. Um, Also, how to start a fire, especially if it's the wood out, is a little damp. How you can still start a fire with out lighter fluid or a lighter and all that. Even if you have a lighter, wood that's damp is kind of hard to get going. But there's different other techniques out there that you can use. But I will share some of that with y'all. Okay, so um, until then, y'all stay warm and have a good day and be blessed. I love, remember me in your prayers, and remember my mother. She's 86 and her health is going. So, she really needs prayer. I'd appreciate it if you would remember her in your prayers. Um, hate to see her health go like the way it has been. So, uh, but and a little words of advice always show respect to your parents, your grandparents, to elders in general. Always show respect. It goes well with you when you do. And even if that elder might be a cantankerous person, whoever they may be, still respect them. Don't mean you got to agree with what they're doing if they're doing something that's not right, but you show respect to them. I mean, you got to learn to know the difference, between respect, and going around and being rude, to someone that's older, So always remember those things. So, okay, and I guess that's it. So, until then, I hope that you will have a good day and be blessed. And I will catch you another time. And until then, let me just say